Hi everyone, this is the calculations demo Amazon QuickSight. Let's create a new analysis. So under sales, SaaS sales, click the ellipsis. And we want to add a new sheet. Click create. Actual size drop down, fit to width. So that's our artograph. And we want to rename it. Let's get rid of that .csv. So SAS-sales analysis advanced calculations. So this is a continuation from the previous demo. Details are in the description. But let's add cost calculations. On the far left panel, click on calculated field, the plus sign, and we're going to name it. Row cost. And in the calculations, I'm going to type in sales minus profit so this is our calculation for row cost. Okay, let's add another calculated field. We'll name it aggregate cost. Calculation is sum parentheses bracket sales minus sum profit. Let's save it. Now let's create a table to compare the calculations. So click on the sheet 1 and we're going to rename it row versus aggregate. CALCS for calculations. Click outside to save it. Now let's click on the table in visuals. Far left panel, we're going to add fields. So we'll add segment, group by segment. We'll add sales under value, profit, and row cost. Add aggregate cost. Let's click on show totals, expand that table. Make sure sales is correct. So I'm going to minimize it. Okay, we want to add profit margins to the calculations. So click calculated field. Let's name it. Row profit margin. Incorrect. So for the calculation is profit divided by sales. Let's save it. Let's add another calculated field. Let's name it aggregate profit margin. Calculation is sum profit divided by sum bracket curly brace sales. Save it. Okay, and aggregate profit margin, click on the ellipsis, the drop down, and show as percentage. So let's expand this so we can take a look. Okay, so we want to add profit margin calculations to the table. So in the search bar, I'm typing in MAR for margin, row profit margin, click on that. So add that to the value. The table is updated. Click on aggregate profit margin, add that to the table. So you can see there's our row profit margin, aggregate profit margin that was just added. Now let's add a LACA calculation. Add a new sheet. We're going to name it LAC-A, fit the width in the autograph. Okay, far left, click on calculated field. Let's give it a name. Sales, open bracket, country, close bracket. For calculation, sum, parentheses, open curly brace, sales, close curly brace. Comma, country, within brackets. Let's save it. Okay, let's click on table as the visual. Okay, close that. And for the field, let's add region. Sales. And drag sales underneath sales. So we want to do this 3 times. Okay, so we have 3 sales as a value. And sales country, drag that over. We're going to do this 3 times as well. Okay, sales and sales country. Click on the second sales, the ellipsis, the drop down, and under aggregate, we want it to be count. The last sales aggregate, we want that to be average. So 1 sum, 1 count, 1 average. Let's do the same for sales country, the second one. Count and average. Let's open that up, maximize the visual. America, APJ, Emirates. So let's add the LACW calculation, which is a more complex calculation. So add a new sheet, click the plus sign, let's rename it LAC-W. Fit to width for the autograph. Far left, let's add a calculated field. Let's name it. Overall sales. Pre-filter. Okay, so sum. Sales within brackets. Oh, close that. Comma, so remove the brackets. Pre-underscore filter. Let's save it. Oh, so we have an error. Okay. Space. Still an error. So it's sum over. That's correct. Now let's remove the space. Save it. Okay, that's correct. You'll see it also in the workshop. And let's add another calculated field. Let's give it a name. Overall sales. Pre-ag for aggregate. And the calculation is sum over. Sales, comma, open close bracket, comma, pre-ag. Let's save it. Okay. So add another calculated field. Overall sales post. Ag filter. Sum over. Sum sales, comma, open close braces post underscore ag filter. Save it. Now let's create a table to compare the level aware calculations, which is what LAC stand for. Okay, so let's click on industry. We'll add sales. Overall sales pre-filter. These are the calculations we created. Pre-ag and post-ag filter. I'm going to expand this table. Click on the ellipsis for more options. Show total to refresh. Let's maximize that. Okay, so you can see our totals. Click on sale. And I'm going to play around with the descending and ascending order. Now let's add a filter. So up at the top, click on the filter icon, click plus add for the filter, scroll down to industry, double click to open that up. I'm going to click on this single sheet, or cross sheet, a single sheet. We want this sheet to all visuals. Click on the ellipsis, and I'm going to add it inside this sheet. Okay, so there it is. So we have that filter, and we want to remove unchecked miscellaneous. Okay, and I'm going to drag it to the top of the table or the top of this sheet. Okay, let's add a top in filter. So click on plus add for the filter, industry, double click to open that visual. Click on the second option, this sheet, all visuals like before. Click on the ellipsis, add control inside of this sheet. So there's our second filter. Okay, filter type, we want top and bottom filter. And show top integer, let's enter 5. Select field. Okay, sales. And let's hit apply. Okay, so the tape, it's showing 2 rows. Okay, so the integer reverted back to 2, so just a recorrection, type in 5. And there it's showing 5 rows. So let's expand, maximize. You can see industry, finance, energy, manufacturing, healthcare, tech. Okay, so 5 rows are showing. Top in industry 5. Minimize that. Okay, now let's create a pivot table. So add a new sheet, the plus icon, click add. Let's name it. Table calculations, fit to width. Click on pivot table, region field, add it to rows. Add subregion. Drag segment under columns. And drag sales under values. Second time. So we have 2 sales. So add the table calculation. Okay, click on the second sales ellipsis, the drop down, and add table calculation. We want percentage of total. Calculate as, group down. Okay, under properties, click on the value names drop down, and in sales sum, let's enter percentage of total. Close out of that. The table updated. Let's maximize it. Okay, so you can see the percentage of total that we created. Okay, let's minimize that. Now plot multiple periods side by side. Let's add a new sheet. So rename it. Period calculations, fit to width. Okay, let's add a calculated field. Let's give it a name. Period. And I'm gonna copy and paste this calculation. So it's a little more complex. That's a if-else statement. Let's save it. Let's click on the autograph and let's click on the filter, add filter. Let's add order date. Double click. And then the drop down filter type is date and time range. Condition is after. Set a rolling date. Click on the third option, which is filter condition. Under range, let's select previous. Under period, it's year. And save it. Okay, let's click on the visualize and vertical bar chart. Click on add. Oh, I'm gonna undo that. Sorry. Okay, let's go to the field options and let's select product, add period, and sales. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so we have sales sum and then product. And that pretty much wraps up this calculation demo for Amazon QuickSight. So it's part of a series, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.